So I have here is Kai-Zen. He's actually has his own YouTube channel. Kai-Zen Consciousness is what it's called. Mastering your life from the inside out. Same principle that we teach in our office too. So give him a hand for him today. So first of all, what is Kai-Zen Consciousness? What is that?
Well, hey, thanks for letting me come up here. Good morning to everyone. Kai-Zen Consciousness. So the idea is that you learn to build resilience in your personality and in your mindset so that eventually, through what he terms as removing interferences, we end up being able to fill in that void that happens after you remove the interferences, because that's a whole nother layer to this.
Yeah.
And I think a strong mindset is what has to happen at that point, and that's what Kai-Zen Consciousness, really what it stands for, is continuous improvement. Every day, tiny little steps. So how small can you make the incremental change? Let me give you an example real quick. So you're in front of the TV, you watch commercial television, you want to work out, you've got a beautiful machine that is holding up your laundry in the bedroom, it's your Stairmaster. You have a gym membership that you made it all the way to January 20th with, that kind of thing. And so the way Kai-Zen would teach this is that you stand in front of your TV when the commercial comes on and do one jump again. One burpee. That's good enough. Do it again tomorrow. What you're doing is you're training your mind to actually believe that you can work out, and you will want to start to increase this as time goes on, and next thing you know, you're working through the whole commercial break and you're on your way. So that's the idea. Master from the inside out, and you live a really healthy life that you've advocated. So.
Awesome. Sounds good. You're doing what really got you into doing. I'm looking for that, and also even teaching it and using it yourself.
Okay, so heart rate variability is the following. When we are born as babies, you guys all know what the heartbeat, the EKG, which cardio, by the way, with the K, EKG is Greek for heart, cardio, right? I just learned that, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I just learned too.
So the EKG results, if you look at the peaks of the wave, the distance between those peaks is measured in time, and it's milliseconds, okay? And that is your heart rate. And the difference in the time, so think of a song, don't, that's what old people sound like, okay? The heartbeat. Yet babies are da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, that's heart rate variability. It's just up and down and up and versus. So as we age, we go from da-da-da-da-da to da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and die. So the idea is this prevention that you're talking about is that we start to control this variability, and we can do that, and I'll talk about that in a second, but we can manipulate, especially in our sleep, how that heart rate variability starts to change and increase, because you mentioned earlier that it's linked to low heart rate variability, heart disease. So yes, we can change this. It is something that you can personally engage in. I'll show you a technique how to do it before I'm done. The term for the industry is biohacking, is that you start to hack your own life, meaning you start to figure out all these little things, and again, continuous improvement through removing the interference. I'm a patient as well, and I think that was the key of how we actually started to do some of the videos, is that removing of interference, because you got to get that loose first. And once the interference is loose, then you can actually start to build and work up. Otherwise, it's too big and become full really quickly, because it's scary. Change is kind of scary.
Awesome. So what would you say is like your 3-step process with heart rate variability? Like your main points when it comes to...
Okay, so in 1991, this is all science-based. This isn't, something that we're pulling out of thin air, although Tesla would disagree. So the idea is that in 1991, a doctor named Dr. Andrew Amour, French for heart, kind of an awesome name to do this kind of work with, he discovered that in the heart we have 40,000 brain-like cells called neurons. He discovered that in the heart by itself, we actually have what's called the heart brain. We have brain cells in the heart. They're neurons. They function just like brain cells in the brain. So with those 40,000 brain cells, we now have to deal with something that is going to allow us to actually tap into those brain cells. The heart is faster in terms of its cell structure in reaction than the brain. The brain is actually a little bit slower. It thinks about things. The heart brain knows things. And that's the beauty of this. So that was one thing. The heart rate variability, which if you can start to control some of this, leads to probably the biggest term in the field, which is called coherence. So coherence goes like this. If we were to right now take an EKG scan, we would get a bounce rate. Let's just say it does, it moves along. And let's say you're not stressed. You all look pretty relaxed, so you would get a nice, smooth, versus Monday morning when you have to go do something that's called a Monday morning.
Get on 40.
It's all jagged, right? So coherence works like this. Instead of the brain telling the heart what to do, which is what we, I think, at least in my world, is what we were trained to do from baby on, is this is in charge. It's actually this that's in charge. And if you can start to tap into these neurons, and when that starts to become smooth, okay, with this technique we're going to talk about in a second, you now take the two, for 1 second, so you take the two scans, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So you've got this going on in the heart, and you've got this going on at the same time in the brain, right? If we start here, as this starts to take control and you spend more conscious time here, this will automatically slow down, and what was this dance now turns into a partnership, just like this. And you instantly bring the brain into coherence with the heart. The heart's driving this. So heart health, whether it's physical, spiritual, emotional, all that health is going to align that you have a better mind to work with. And as we talk about longevity in old age, you want that to be biofeedback systems. And there are several devices available. Chest strap made by Polar. You would put that on in the morning time. I have two devices. Sorry. One is something called the Aura Ring, and this is a pricey device, but you can't probably see it, but he can tell you. There are sensors on the inside of this.
And the inside is like sensors, yeah.
And you wear it all day long, and the three sensors will actually gauge your heart rate, and then in the morning on your phone or on the computer you have an app, and it tells you everything that's going on. The biggest statistic you want to look for is, yes, how well did I sleep? And it gives you intense, kind of information, but what you're really looking for is that heart rate variability, and it measures this in milliseconds. So this thing is on all the time. You charge it once a week, USB charger, put it on a charger, and the app is on your phone, so all that, and it's accurate. The chest strap is good. Another one that I just got is an earlobe one. It's a very loose-fitting thing that I'll put right here, and it's got a sensor. You attach your clothing. You would put it on in the morning time, same time every day, and then you get that readout, and that will give you a chance to start to get a baseline over several weeks, who you are in terms of all this feedback, and then you start to make your changes. You biohack your life.
Very cool. So who's ready to test this out? Ready to test it out right now? All right.
So I invite you to kind of take a second, collect yourself, and I want you to start to focus in on your heart. Okay? So breathing into the heart, we're not used to this. We're used to breathing up here in the head. So the way you do this to get your consciousness to take control, and you'll see this in religious pictures, is you actually touch your heart. So you can do this. So it's not a pledge, okay? It's right over the sternum, center. Another one is you can touch it like this with your fingers, or you can do a mudra like this. Okay? It depends on what is most comfortable for you. I tend to just like to put my fingers like this right on it. I do this first thing in the morning, and I do this last thing in the night. Okay? I mean literally, right before I pass out. So now what you want to do is you want to start breathing slower. And it's going to take a couple of seconds for us. So you're breathing 5 seconds. Count 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000 in, and then 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, up to 5, 1,000 back out. You have to really consciously make this decision. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, as you continue doing this, I'm going to walk you through it, is you start to work on 4 words that they have tested. And by the way, the resource to go to is called the Heart Math Institute. Okay, heartmath, one word, .org, O-R-G, important, don't go to .com. And they have found that the best response in terms of heart rate variability, and I'll just give you the words alphabetically, is appreciation, care, compassion, and gratitude. Those 4 words have been tested with monks and with different people to give the best and lowest heart rate frequency, which is 0.1 hertz. Okay? So they've done the work for us. So as you breathe in, gratitude, your health, how's that different from gratitude? Okay, so that's where you might want to do a little bit of your own research. But with those 4 words, 5 seconds in gratitude, 5 seconds out gratitude, 5 seconds in appreciation, 5 seconds out. That tune, think of tuning a guitar or a piano. That tunes your heart and mind into coherence. Now, you start to do the work on what it is you want. I want my heart rate variability to increase. I want to have a better day today. So that's why I do it in the morning. I want to sleep really well. Some of the people that came up here said they can sleep better. I want to have a great night's sleep. I want to feel strong when I wake up. Those are the things you say after the tuning has taken place. And then when you're done, tell yourself that you love yourself. I love me. Thank you. And I love you. That's a wonderful way to snap out of it and go about your business.
Very cool. Awesome. I love that. Wow. So very practical right there, obviously. So that's something you can actually do yourself. And it's like that's up to you on how to do that, right? So I love it. So good, easy action steps. There's no cost to do that, right? You can do that on your own. All right. Give them a hand. Awesome.